Gamers, now that we're done with the raid and we finally got some sleep, it's time to make some content on what builds that I've been enjoying with the new Edge of Fate content. When I tell you this build carried ad clear through contest mode of the raid, I'm not kidding. All those Minotaurs, one shot. See you later. I used to run this Titan build back in the day, and I thought, man, there's no way they're gonna buff it and make it better. But we all know Bungie loves giving Titans broken builds, so let me introduce you to the Thunderclap 1-2 punch build. Now, in the recent changes this season, you can now stack every single melee buff on weapons with your melee abilities. So this 1-2 punch will work with Hunter, the Grapple, the Uppercut Warlock, and the Titan Thunderclap, or other melee abilities in the game. The reason why Skullfort is so strong is because, well, you have unlimited punches, you always heal, and you can run this build with an arc setup and switch to Curus. You can actually use this in your raid like I did, but you can also run it on Prismatic. So I'm like, well, if I'm on an Arc Titan, I'm probably just going to do a Skullfort to a Curus swap and have Bolt Charge for my teammates. But what if you're not in that scenario? What if you want to run something different? Well, the Prismatic Titan is just dominant. Why? Because you can have unlimited amplify, unlimited healing, frost armor, overshield, and a one-off super or any super of your choice to make you just a one-man wrecking ball. What you're seeing back in the footage right now is me just simply stabbing the diamond lance in the ground to give myself all frost armor, and then I already have an overshield. I see an enemy, a major or something, I'm just gonna shotgun, charge the thunderclap up, and do tons of damage. And if I'm lucky enough, I'll get another diamond lance after that play, and then by the time I do this 3 or 4 times, I'm just getting prismatic. So now it's game time to just throw those prismatic nades. If I have a nade up, I could just throw the suspend nade, and I could suspend the targets and proc courage. So what we're going to be doing here is just stacking all the artifact, all the mods, every single thing that Bungie gives us on our prismatic subclass. And also I'll show a variant you can use for arc and just dominate the game and have fun. There's a ton of fun Titan builds right now, like the Flechette Storm build. I've seen Error upload. That's a good one. You should check it out. I'm going to be working on a Solar Titan build as well, but unfortunately this weekend I'm going to GCX, so I hope to see some of you there. So we'll be back on Monday. First, let's go over the subclass. Like I said, you could run any super you want. The reason why I like Twilight Arsenal, I get an overshield plus my super weakens, so I can stack that on top of my melee. So if I throw my super at something and it doesn't kill it, it's weakened, it's ready to go, and it's just fun to use. If you want to use Glacial Quake, that's cool and all, but with having Skullfort on, you're not really going to get that benefit, and you would have to swap your exotic for your super. If you run Thunder Crash, you can take off Purpose because the fragments that I'm running, I have protection on. Duh, this doesn't come off. Sacrifice, because I'm going to be using this to take advantage. I always have an arc buff, which is amplified, and ability final blows grant darkness transcendent energy. This is huge because I'm using my grenade, which is shackle grenade, and I'm using diamond lance for darkness, and then when I punch, that's arc, and it really charges your prismatic even faster. The reason why we have purpose on is so we get that overshield with using the void subclass. Courage is always procced because we're always adding a darkness debuff, and then Facet of Ruin just to make the stasis explosions even better when you throw your diamond lance, stab it at the ground to get frost armor, or any other form of freezing you might be using with weapons. If you're wondering why I don't have on Glacier Grenade, it's because there's been times where I've thrown this grenade at a pack of enemies and I go to Thunderclap and I lose my melee. I didn't like that. So suspending stuff and just setting it up for the old dummy 1-2 punch is easy to do. Diamond Lance and Knockout, in my opinion, are mandatory for this build. Trust me, it's fun. Just remember that you could slam the lance into the ground to give yourself frost armor. Do this a couple times and just stack that DR. So not only do you have amplified, not only do you have frost armor, but you have the void overshield. You can't die. Use Thunderclap, use whatever jump you want, and then I like Thruster because I don't need to sit behind a barricade because it's not a bolt charge barricade anyway. You're going to be looking for a 1-2 punch shotgun. I told everybody to get the perfect paradox because it's so good with Cast No Shadows. Dealing melee damage increases this weapon handling and loads a small amount of ammo from reserves. So pretty much every time you use this shotgun then melee, it reloads for you. You never have to reload. If you don't have the perfect paradox, I would just try and find the best 1-2 punch shotgun you got in the kinetic or energy slot. The reason why I have Reckless Oracle on, because I just love this thing and it's cool. But remember, you could run something like Sunshot with this build and get Radiant from the artifact. So it's kind of just whatever you want. But Reckless Oracle still slays because of the stabilizing rounds. And I really like it for the origin trait. All I have to do is break an enemy's shield and it blinds them. What happens when it blinds them? I set up the 1-2 punch. Heavy's up to you. Use whatever you like. We're going to go over the stat distribution. Me personally, I like being around 160 or higher melee. In the contest final boss, I had 145 melee. on my Titan, and I was one-shotting those Minotaurs, which absolutely carried ad clear, and we were able to hit tons of special finishers to get that crazy boss nuke. The rest of the stats are up to you. I just like sitting above 100 weapons because I don't want to be starved of ammo. If you run below 100 weapons, it seems like ammo just takes forever to generate. I do play into the 70 sat super so I can get a nice cooldown, and then grenades I get from using my build anyway, but I just slapped 80 grenades and called it a day. Going into the mods, hands-on just to give you super energy, special ammo finder because if I need shotgun ammo and I'm running low, it'll help me out. Harmonic siphon, I'm using the reckless oracle, might as well make some orbs. Going on to your gauntlets, you could run triple heavy-handed to make an orb every second, but I decided to put a melee font on so I could get a little bit more melee. I can't hit 200 melee with this build. I tried putting it in the D2 armor picker, and it just seemed like going for 200 with only one melee font on, I was sacrificing super. I didn't want it to take forever to get super. I kind of wanted this to be an all-around build, but it's totally up to you. If you want to go more melee stat, go for it. Best piece, you guys know the deal. Resist mods. Going down to your boots, you don't need to run better already because Skull Fort heals you, but again, this is just playing it safe. Hey, I can't die. Absolution, this is going to reduce all your cooldowns, so not only are you getting your melee back from the exotic, but you're getting your thruster and you're getting grenade energy. Kinetic scav, simply for my shotgun. Going to the class item, we're going to be using bomber, reducing that grenade cooldown when you use your class ability. Special finisher to give yourself more shotgun ammo. Powerful attraction, use your thruster to pick up all the orbs that you make on the ground. Important mods you can run on your artifact. In my opinion, the number one is Shield Crush. This is where the build gets even better. Why? Because when you run Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or Avoid Overshield, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage. So you're stacking Shield Crush, Courage, 1-2 Punch, Thunderclap, Skull Fort. You get the picture here? Nothing can survive. If it don't die, it's one shot. Elemental Overdrive is nice too, because if you're using a Void weapon, when you pick up an elemental pickup, you're going to get a 10% boost to your weapons. We will take that. So if you're using a different subclass, use whatever you like. Refresh Threads is really nice because when you pick up an elemental pickup matching your subclass, it grants super energy. Refresh Threads is really nice because when you pick up an elemental pickup matching your subclass elements, it grants energy to your least charged ability. So pretty much your grenade. That's awesome. I do use elemental coalescence. Feeding targets has a chance to create an elemental pickup as well, matching your equipped super elements, some more void. And then, like I said, if you wanted to run like a solar weapon, make sure you have on Fever and Chill, because if you get rapid hits with solar weapons, you will get radiant. So you could get radiant and even add more damage to this if you really wanted to. If you want to test it out, just, you know, shoot a couple shots with like Sunshot, get radiant, and then do your Thunderclap 1-2 punch. So yeah, as you see here, I'm in the shooting range. It's pretty simple. I'm just meleeing enemies to try and get the Diamond Lance to proc. What I'm doing here is just a test shot here. Wanted to just show you what a normal 1-2 punch Thunderclap does without being buffed or proccing Courage. And the damage was decent, you know, it was around like 1100. But then when I added in Courage and I started getting it ramped up, hit the shotgun shot, fully charged the Thunderclap, you're doing around 3200 per punch. Now again, these numbers are off. You might be like, oh well, Clyde, this does more damage in the testing facility. The numbers are off in this testing facility. Bungie's really got to fix it. When it comes down to it, it's not just how much damage you can do in a build, it's how you can survive. So I kind of wanted to just explain the loop with this build and what you're doing. You really don't have to charge your Thunderclap fully every time you do this. The whole purpose is if you see like little trash mob ads, just hit a quick punch, get that Diamond Lance, and then find that big group of enemies, slam that Diamond Lance on them, proc your Frost Armor, and then shotgun something to proc the 1-2 punch and aim for the biggest man in the group. You know, remember, the big one always falls first, and just absolutely destroy everything. What's nice is you're saving ammo. You're not really doing anything else besides meleeing. If you run out, if you Thunderclap something and you lose a punch, that's okay. Just keep punching, and with 3 or 4 kills, you're getting that Thunderclap back. When you get Prismatic, start popping it, throw the nade, proc Courage, and just do your damage rotations to make it easy. What's nice too is you can run whatever weapon you want in the heavy slot, so you're always going to have heavy. You're never going to be starved, and you can simply just dominate content. Hopefully me breaking down this full build let you guys enjoy it, tweak it, use whatever you like. Remember, this is just like a starter build for you. If you see something you don't like and you want to switch it up, do it. But trust me, you will have fun in this build. The fact that they buffed it and now 1-2 punch works with it, it's probably one of my top favorites of all time. Even better than Consecration in my opinion right now, just because the utility it has. I'll put the dim links down below. I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.